What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson. Yes, you're a nutritionist, a guy who shares because he cares. And today we're going to have a very interesting conversation because we're going to talk about something that's not really talked about. And that is what is taking place between patients, clients, and their doctors. When the obvious is the obvious, but yet the obvious is not the obvious. Now, joining me today will be one of our coaches, Ms. Susie Lopez. I'll be bringing her on in a second. And we have provided her website in the description below where you can contact her. At the same time, you can contact me. And we have a gut health challenge that is currently taking place at this very moment, which I'm actually participating in the gut health challenge. You can go at any time. You can start at any time, and it's there. And then I want to just invite you, whether it's with Susie or myself, we do provide free consultations. And the free consultation is something that can benefit anyone. Now, when you contact me, there would be for two reasons. One, you want a free consultation because you're thinking about becoming a client, or maybe you just have questions and you're looking for clarity and answers, and we will provide that to you. Or two, maybe you're interested in becoming a coach, and I can tell you what that looks like as well. And when it's a free consultation, that means you don't have to spend any money to gain clarity, right? Better understanding of what it is that you're hoping to achieve. All right. Now, without further delay, let me bring on Miss Susie Lopez. What's up, Susie?
Hi, Robert. Hi, everyone. I'm doing great. How's it going?
It is going. And you and I were having a conversation this morning. And then I asked you if you would, hey, let's just do a live, because the conversation that we were just having is one that can benefit a lot of people. And so,
yes.
Thank you for making yourself available. And before we have that conversation, that people can be a fly in the room, what's new with Susie? Is there anything going on with you that's new? You know, people haven't seen you in a little bit. Give us an update with Susie Lopez. Coach Susie Lopez, everybody.
Thanks, Robert. Yes, I have a few things going on that I'm really excited about. I'm growing my practice, steadily here, but I'm excited. I've recently been able to partner with a church that I actually grew up in, and I have a lot of really good relationships with still. And we're going to be doing an 8-week fat loss challenge starting in March. And this is just a local, thing out of Southern California in Ontario. So if anybody is in that area, just happens to be in that area, would like more information, let me know. But I'll be in person there. But I'm just excited. I'm getting to work with more and more people. And we're just so passionate, right, Robert, about what we're doing to help people improve their health and lose weight. And so I'm just excited to share.
All right. Well, good. Well, let's be transparent in this conversation. And those of you who want to learn more about Susie, go to her website and you can sign up. She has like a free newsletter. And if you fill that information out, she'll get an email, and then she can email you and you guys can begin a conversation. And if you're local, you could probably join this upcoming challenge they have. So now let me preface, I want everybody, because Susie and I were talking, and so I'm going to kind of share a little bit about one of my situations, and then Susie's going to share one of hers. And then we're going to have a conversation. I would love to hear what you guys think about this, because we're going to touch on something that many people are experiencing, but no one's really helping them deal with it. So let me give you an example of what I mean. I have a client who she's, 5'1" tall. She's weighing 160 pounds. She's 50 years old. She works in the medical field, and we get her. She's at the time she was taking blood pressure medication. She was taking Metformin for her diabetes. And there may be something else I'm missing. But fast forward, we get her down to 120 pounds. Okay. 120 pounds. Now, if you're 5'1" and you go from 160 to 120, that's a significant drop in weight.
Absolutely. That's my height.
and she does it, right? Eating regular food, bread, pasta, broccoli, asparagus. Like just she learns how to eat. That's what we teach people. And she's now off the blood pressure medication. She's off the metformin. There's no more diabetes. There's no more concerns with hypertension. She looks amazing. That doesn't mean she didn't look amazing before, but she looks great. And she looks so great that she's getting a lot of attention from a lot of people. What are you doing? How did you lose the weight? Are you on that Ozempic thing? Like, how are you like a lot of questions. And so she goes into her doctor for her annual checkup or her 6-month checkup or whatever it was. And the doctor sees her, and people are complimenting her as she's walking through the hospital. People that know her because she worked in that space. And the doctor sees her and is like, wow, you look absolutely amazing. Man, you have lost a lot of weight. Hey, what are you doing? And she says, well, I have a coach. His name is Robert, blah, blah, blah. And she's going on and on. And the lady's like, oh, well, you're no longer on your blood pressure meds. She goes, nope, I haven't been on it for 5 months. And you're not taking metformin? Nope. I've been off of that about 8 months. I feel great. All her numbers look great. Everything looked great. And then the doctor looks at her, Susie, and says, we need to get you back, get you on metformin, or not metformin, on Ozempic. And so my client's like, excuse me? Yeah. I mean, you've done good, but on Ozempic, you could eat, foods, you're probably avoiding and not even be concerned with it. She goes, no, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I feel great with what I'm doing. I've done it. I'm off the meds. I've lost the weight. This is amazing. And the doctor is still pushing Ozempic. Now, for those of you who are listening in, many of you, when the doctor recommends that, would actually get on that. Like one of my clients, I was telling Susie, I said I was going to share one, but let me share one more, who called me yesterday. And she's been battling with cancer and going through it. And, she's a client for a long time, and I consider her a friend. She's family. And I'm not going to mention her name right now. But if she's catching this, which I'm sure she will, she knows who I'm talking about. So I'm complimenting her because she's done really well. Well, she goes to the doctor, and the doctor starts asking her questions, and, she's feeling pretty good. And she asked a question about fasting insulin. I want to get a fasting insulin test. And the doctor looks at her and goes, how do you know about a fasting insulin test? And she starts telling the doctor about her coach, me, and all the things that she's learned and what she's doing. And he's so impressed. He's like, wow. And so he wrote down my website. He wanted to learn more. He's like, wow, I'm so impressed with the questions you're asking. And before they were done, and all the progress that she's made, this doctor says, so I'm going to write you a prescription for metformin. Now, I have a hell of a lot to say about this.
Yeah.
And then you were just telling me about a couple of your clients who were making progress. They went in and then they were recommended Ozempic. Can you share that?
Yes, I had a client recently that we started working together, and I want to say about the 3-month mark, he was due for a checkup and just to see how things were going. Well, his doctor was very impressed because from the last time she saw him, his A1C was at a 7.0, and at that point he was at 6.5. So he dropped his A1C. His blood pressure's down. His blood sugars are down. He's lost about 30 pounds at that point since the last time she saw him. And so she's impressed. She's happy for him. She's telling him, keep doing what you're doing, but let's get you on Ozempic. So when I found out about this, first off, it's very frustrating to know that, had I maybe been in the room, maybe I would have personally just questioned the reasoning. Unfortunately, that's not what happened, and my client, I think, is back on it. But it's just one of those situations where it's like everything is improving, everything is getting better, Why? What is the need for getting on something like Ozempic?
Well,
Very, very frustrating.
that is a great question. Same as putting someone on metformin. Same as my client who made all that progress. And even though the doctors watched her get off meds, watch her lose all this weight, something the doctor hadn't even done for herself, and then you're going to recommend they do Ozempic. Now, my client at the time, she denied it and would not go on it. So I'm proud of that client. But most of you guys and most clients and most people out there, when the doctor recommends a certain med, they usually will do it. Because one, maybe they have had a long relationship with that doctor. Two, they trust that doctor. And three, they're not aware of what you and I are aware of. You and I know that people are indoctrinated. And you and I know that many people fall prey to what they call culturally induced ignorance. So there's a word called agnotology. And agnotology is basically, in short, it's the science and study of ignorance. Now, before someone thinks that I'm being mean and calling everybody ignorant, I'm not. Because ignorance is just unaware. Because if your clients and I switch places, and I was your client, right? Because
Right.
of what I know, Susie, when the doctor says, I'm going to put you on Ozempic, I would say, no, you're not putting me on Ozempic because I'm informed.
Right.
And they would say, excuse me, or like, why you don't want to? Well, because as you stated when I got here, I've lost 30 pounds. I feel great. I'm getting off meds, not going on meds. And the lifestyle that I have, and the coach, I'm working with Coach Susie, and everything's going great. I'm actually blown away that you would recommend I take a drug when you can see that I'm naturally being successful without a drug. So why would I do something for something that I'm already doing? That makes no sense.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's the place where we need to get to, just in general, as consumers, as patients. It's just, let's start to think and, maybe get some reasoning to why we're just so willing to do something when someone that maybe we think is in that power position, or with authority, or with what we think is experience or knowledge, and we just accept what they say. So we need to do a little bit more digging for ourselves, and understand why are we doing what we're doing.
And that's where people, well, I think we get in our own way, Susie. So like there's a part of, as I was sharing with you earlier when I talked about the word agnotology, right? The science and study of ignorance.
Right.
It's the opposite of someone who's seeking for truth. So when you were 50 pounds heavier, you were seeking truth. You wanted a way to get rid of some weight. And
Yes.
that's how we came in contact. And then you did it. And now you're helping other people do the same. Well, a lot of people don't want to learn anything different. They don't want to know anything different. They just want to be told what to do and not think. And they're just assuming that the doctor is giving them recommendations. And doctors really don't know. And I'm generalizing, but let's say most doctors have absolutely no clue. Most nutritionists and dietitians have no clue on how to help you. They're not evidence-based and clinically proven. Like, we actually bring that to the table. So we're there to inform you so you don't fall prey to stuff like that. Because, as you have clients and I have clients, some of them are passionate. Like, no, I'm not going on. Why would I go on Ozempic when I'm being successful by myself? And I don't want side effects or the effects that come with some of these drugs. And
Exactly.
why are these doctors just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it?
Exactly. That to me is a big red flag. And that was one of the red flags I saw, during COVID, is there's so many things getting pushed. And it wasn't like a gentle option. It was like, this is what you have to do. So to me, anytime I see something like like it's being required, demand. It's like, what is the reasoning for this? Why am I being asked to do this?
Amen. Amen. You know, another thing, and I didn't bring this up when we were talking earlier, but I was in a place where I was like, you know what? I just want to start building a case, right? Because I'm writing this new book. And when I say building a case, to help people really understand that when you first hear something or you get a recommendation, don't be quick to just say, oh yeah, I'll take Ozempic. You know, it's kind of like when we talk about smoking cigarettes. At one point, there was ads on TV, there was ads in newspapers, there was ads in billboards that encouraged women to smoke cigarettes when they were pregnant. And in the 50s and early 60s, well over 40% of adults were smoking cigarettes. And women were encouraged to smoke cigarettes because they were told that it helps with digestion. It'll help you relax better. And that was the propaganda at the time. That was what they wanted people to believe. And that goes back to agnotology, which is culturally induced ignorance. We want people to just buy into not being informed, even though there were people back then saying, don't smoke. Smoking's bad for you. Now we know because enough people got with it and people started becoming more aware. And then the government had to go with it. And tobacco companies couldn't advertise. They couldn't sell these lies. And now what? Less than 17% of adults smoke. And if you saw a woman smoking a cigarette that was pregnant, you'd be like, please stop smoking. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's horrible.
And so, like last night, I had this epiphany and I was thinking about cocaine. Okay. I was thinking about cocaine and heroin. So you're probably thinking,
Why? Why are you
why?
thinking about that?
Well, in the 1880s, both heroin and cocaine, as they were discovered, were legal. They were putting them in cigarettes, and there was like powders you could take, and there was little drinks you could do. They were in the early 1900s, little babies, they would give them some cocaine. And it would help them not be as, anxious. All they saw was benefits until they started saying that people were becoming addicted. It was going in the wrong direction. But when it first came out, these were like ideal drugs.
So you're talking about these were prescriptions, or how were they getting them?
Oh, it was over the counter.
It was over the counter. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they had prescriptions. I mean, not the way we have prescriptions today, but these things were like fully available and encouraged.
Okay.
And now they're illegal. So
yeah.
But look at them when it first came out. Like today, you couldn't go to someone and say, hey, your baby, I know this is not relaxing or sleeping as well. Give them a little bit of cocaine. Just rub a little bit on their gums. And who's going to do that? No one's going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we know better. We
know.
Yeah. We
are
educated. So back then, people didn't know. And the way most people communicate, we didn't have TVs. There was no devices like iPads and phones where you could, look up stuff quickly. Like no one knew. You just went with what was culturally okay. And the same thing is going on now, right? So if you get enough celebrities, like during the pandemic, you get enough influencers that are telling you, yeah, take this, take this, take this, take this, then you just take it, because otherwise you're going against the grind. And you're why are you acting like that? Why are you not going with the flow? Why are you the person pushing back?
Right.
And the same thing is happening. And the saddest part, in my opinion, is when someone like your client loses 30 pounds, feels good, is on the right track, and the doctor just totally looks over that and says, let's get you back on Ozempic.
Right.
I'll be
and
like,
why would, I mean, I mean, Robert, why would a doctor, I mean, if you want to talk about that, why would they recommend that?
Well, a doctor doesn't know nutrition. Most doctors really don't know. And if you just look at, you know, the word epistemology, which is the study of knowledge, look at the study of knowledge for the average physician. The average physician does not get any nutrition training when they go to medical school. The average physician, if you look at 25% of them, may get 12 hours of nutrition education their whole time. So why do we just assume they know? They don't know. And so they're indoctrinated to, when new meds come out, to take those new meds and prescribe those meds based on certain conditions. So they're not free thinkers. Not all, but it's obvious. And there's a lot of them that are free thinkers, but most are not, where they're like constantly looking and putting in time. I mean, for me to stay up on top of current nutrition science, it's a lot of work, Susie, as you know.
Yes.
I mean, every week we're looking at studies. Every week we're challenging what our beliefs are. Every week we're putting what we think we know to the test. I don't have another job. I don't do other things on the side. This is it. And I'm committed to it. And then when you take 29 years of doing it, all of that experience with the same type of mindset, then I know the value of constantly challenging myself and constantly like looking for what is the best answer, or if you want to call it a prescription, a recommendation that we can give to people. And a doctor is not that. They are trained not to sit with you for 30 minutes and talk about nutrition. They are trained to identify where the problem is. And then with most problems, there will be a prescription they can recommend. Great example of what my point here. If you have fatty liver, a doctor does not help you with fatty liver. And close to 50% of adults have fatty liver right now. Whereas in 1979, and we're talking non-alcoholic fatty liver, nobody had it. Over 10% of kids have non-alcoholic fatty liver right now. So why aren't doctors spending time with people? They're not spending time with people because
there's no prescription.
There is no prescription. And they don't make money saying eat more broccoli. Right?
Okay.
You see the same thing in network marketing. Most network marketing companies, they're not like encouraging you to improve your lifestyle. They're just recommending you take their product. Whether it's a protein powder, a collagen, whatever, and it does all of these things, and no one, like, I would be suspicious of anyone that recommends any kind of supplement and they don't recommend eating healthier and improving your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's funny.
But it's the same as what happens to these clients that goes to the doctor. Nobody questions anything. They just walk in, okay. And same as people. Hey, here's a supplement that'll help you like think better. Here's a supplement that'll help you feel better. Here's a supplement that will like, give you more energy. Here's a supplement that'll help you be okay with like your cutting cravings. Here's you see, I mean, I'm not the only person like seeing how crazy this is.
Yes, yeah. There's a supplement for everything. Yep.
For everything. But yet every year, Susie, we are fatter and sicker.
Yes.
So more supplements being sold, more gyms making it possible for people to work out, more of all kind of things out there, but yet every year we're sicker and we're fatter. And here we are offering a solution for people. It's called, I'm going to teach you about nutrition. I'm going to coach you and guide you step by step. And we're going to have measures in place where we can look at your waist, we can look at your weight, we can look at your body fat percentage, we can look at how you feel each and every week. And we can do an evaluation between last week and this week. And are we making progress? So you have built-in accountability and you have education. We are actually doing that for people. And then they go see their doctor and the doctor goes, I think we're going to put you back on metformin. Oh my.
Yes. Frustrating.
It's Pat. I mean, I don't even have what other word? It's mind blowing to me. But yet we live in a world where we're not seeking truth. We're actually seeking convenience.
Yeah, absolutely. We want the quick fix, the easy way to do something. And then, what's funny about that is we don't stop to think, okay, I gained, let's just say, for my personal experience, I gained 50 pounds. I didn't gain 50 pounds overnight. I didn't gain 50 pounds in a few months. It took time. It took daily habits that, whether I was intentionally trying to create or not, they were habits in place that had taken, place for years. And we expect things to change so quickly with something that's going to magically take it away. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work, but we want it to, right? So,
and you know what's interesting is that if you got a whole bunch of people and we put everybody in a room, everyone would agree with you, Susie.
Yeah.
Everyone would agree with you, and they will do nothing to improve their situation. That's the part that is forever mind-blowing to me. And that's what led me down that rabbit hole of, epistemology, which is the study of knowledge, and agnotology, which is the science and study of ignorance. Understanding ignorance helps me help people, because I realize when I'm talking to the average person, they just don't know what they don't know.
Right.
And because they don't know what they don't know, I have empathy and compassion for them. But it does kill me inside when I watch them continue to do the things that don't help them grow as a human being. Like I have a client who, she's a network marketer, right? And since I've been coaching her on her own personal nutrition, weight loss, and health, she's become a better marketer when she's selling her products, because she can speak and share information about nutrition that she's learned, and people can feel that. And then the supplement that she's selling gives that person the edge.
Yeah, she knows how it works better now. Yeah.
Right. So why wouldn't you? Everybody wants the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make the edge the lifestyle. Don't tell me that all I got to do is have a spoonful of this and it's going to help trim my body.
Right. Right.
And that's the craziest part to me, how people just raise their hand and are all about the company selling the product, instead of forcing these companies to wake the hell up and say, hey, look, it's irresponsible for us just to sell a product. We need to sell them, or at least make people aware of nutrition education. Because if you got better nutrition education, then you can see where the benefits are with supplements. I mean, I took my supplements this morning. So it's not like I'm not against supplements. I'm against poor quality supplements, and I'm against people who are just irresponsible and are only selling people what they know they will buy, instead of informing them so they're aware of other things they could do that can help them.
Yes.
So the same as we see people fall and prey for supplements, they're falling prey for these drugs.
Yep. Yep, it's happening.
It is. I mean, we see it every day.
It is. It
So with
is.
your client who, if they're back on Ozempic, I would say, or when I was talking to my client about metformin, when the doctor says, after all of his compliments, he goes, "We're going to put you back on metformin." So I asked her, I said, "Do you know how metformin works?" And of course, she said no. That's the first thing, everyone who's listening in, if you're taking any kind of drug, a responsible thing to do for yourself is to find out how the drug works. Whatever the drug is. Like how does this drug work? And so because I brought it up, she says, well, how does metformin work? I said, well, there's three main contributors to how it works. Number one, it blocks your liver from secreting sugar, which it does naturally. So your liver holds a certain amount of sugar, and when your liver or your body, your brain realizes that maybe your sugar's dropping a little low, because there's a homeostasis, it should always be in a certain range, then your liver basically spits out a little bit of sugar. And that sugar gets in your streamline, and then it keeps your levels up. Well, metformin blocks the liver from doing what it would do naturally. That can't be good. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Metformin is designed to get the sugar down. Okay, so I'm taking a drug that blocks my liver from doing what it's supposed to do.
Naturally do. Right.
Yeah. And then two, it blocks carbs that break down in your intestine as the enzymes are breaking it down, and eventually gets to a point where these carbs or sugar can kind of float through the walls of your intestinal tract and get into your blood circulation. If it blocks that doesn't even sound good either. And that's why
Right.
you get the runs, right? So if it's not being absorbed through the intestinal wall, then it's just kind of being pushed through. And so you in experience like runny diarrhea.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible gut health, right? Like that's not what I want at all.
No. And if you're taking a drug that does that and you don't have a problem with your blood sugar, why is the doctor putting you on any kind of drug?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
what the hell's going on here?
Right.
But
What's the point? Yep.
people don't know. They don't know. And if they do know, they don't know how to communicate when the doctor comes with confidence and says, "Hey, well, let's put you back on Ozempic." They don't know how to educate the doctor and say, no, we're not going back on Ozempic, sir. I told you when I got here that I'm down 30 pounds. I feel great. I don't want, why do you think I need to be on Ozempic?
Exactly. Just challenge a little bit. Challenge the reasoning.
Yeah. And some doctors get mad.
Mm-hmm.
They get mad.
They do. It's happened to me already. I've been in a conversation with a doctor that I challenged, and he was angry. And this was actually for my dad. And my dad told me afterwards, because he was in the room listening, and I wasn't there with him. I was on the phone. So he said the whole time he was nodding his head as if what I had no validity of any kind.
He said you had no validity.
Yes, of what I was, trying to challenge him with. So, yeah.
Now, if you could
Yeah.
go back, do you feel like you did a good job at how you challenged them?
I think I did a decent job. I think I could have done better. But this was, some time ago, and I maybe was a little bit more green as a coach. But um, yeah, I mean, I definitely could have done a little bit better. But I think overall, the information I was talking about was not off the wall. It was information he should have been curious about.
Right. Well, one of the things, like I said, like ask the doctor, how does it work? And then ask, can you, doc, if you don't mind, can you share with me or give me an overview of the effects of the drug? Not the positive effects, but the
The
negative.
negative, yeah. Okay.
And most doctors aren't explaining the negatives.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
So, amen.
Yep. So we got to keep doing what we're doing, right, Robert? So that
Yep.
we can educate as many people as we can, inform as many people as we can, and hope for the best.
Yep. And for those of you who don't, you're on the fence, you're not sure, a free consultation doesn't cost money. It's free. Like I've had people schedule free consultations with me, Susie, where I get on the phone, which I appreciate. I only have so many times available. So if they schedule it, I'm going to be there for them. And it gives me a chance to meet some of these people, right? So I get on the phone. It's not going to take that long. And I basically, how you doing? What are you looking to achieve? Do you mind if I share with you how our program works? And then what questions do you have? Let's take our time together. And I want you to become more informed. I want you to have clarity. So you're not guessing. So what questions do you have about fitness, nutrition? If you ask me questions about dating, I'll give you my best shot, but that's not my skill. I have ideas about how I can help you, but that's not what my expertise is.
Right.
But if they want to talk about their situation, what are some things they can do, we can hang up, and then they have a few good ideas, and now they can go on and run with it.
Absolutely.
And they know a little bit more about what you and I do as if we were coaching them, and they can come back anytime.
Yep. Exactly.
Or they could wait another year, as we watch. Wait 2 years, 3 years. Like my one client I told you about earlier, who went to her doctor, and she knows I got her back. So if you hear this, don't get upset. She's gained her weight back because she stopped being coached early. And there's a lot of people who will hear this. They're not in the same weight. They're heavier, and they will lack humility, so they won't ask for help. So they'll just get worse and worse and worse and try other things. And then sometimes eventually some of those people wake up and go, you know what? I'm just going to call Mike. I'm going to call Robert. You know what? I'm going to call Susie. Same as when you reached out to some of your clients, you had, one of them that came back, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because it works.
Yes.
Jesus. Man, if somebody wants to be successful, I don't know what the hell they're doing. The only reason why you wouldn't have a coach is if you just financially can't afford it. And if that's the case, because that could be, then find a structured program. Like when we put on challenges, or we do a gut health challenge, or, like you're putting on a challenge, like go there anyway. Go to the free orientation, take notes, listen, and start applying.
Yes.
People can do things without spending money.
Absolutely. You just have to you have to be in that right mindset to want to improve and want to make changes.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen. All right. Well, before we go, Susie, let me give a quick shout out. A few people caught us live and posted. We got Lisa Marie, some people from the group, Susie, Sandy. Actually, I owe Sandy a call. Miss Linda Jackson, Darlene, what's up? And whoever said, it's time to find a new doctor.
Yes, amen to that.
So any last words you want to share, Susie? Because I know you mentioned your challenge, and I made your website available so they can reach out to you if they want to learn more about the challenge you're doing in the armpit of Southern California.
The armpit. That's what you call the Inland Empire, the armpit, Robert?
So you've never heard someone say that?
I've heard of it, but I'm saying you're calling not Inland Empire, no, but okay, that's how I know you think how you feel about it.
I like the Inland Empire. I've had great times there.
Hey, the IE is a beautiful place, all right? So I'm never gonna knock down the IE, but so if you are in the IE, if you're in Ontario, near Ontario, California, definitely join me. This event is not being put on by the church. It's not an affiliation or sponsored in any way, but they are making the building available, and they are making it available to the members and surrounding communities. So definitely feel free to join me. I do have the details on my Facebook profile there, but you can also just reach out to me and I can give you the details. Orientation's coming up March the 3rd, 11:45 in the morning. But if you want to just reach out to me, like Robert was saying earlier, and let's just get on the phone. Let's talk about what it is that you want to accomplish. And I can absolutely, I'll do my best to help you reach those goals. So I think the links are all on there on my website, susielopez.com. You can schedule a free consultation there as well.
All right. All right, you guys. Thank you, Susie, for making time. I know you got a lot going on, so get back to your day. And I am doing a coach training later. If you're around, I'll send you the link. Other than that, I think we're good.
All right. Thank you, Robert. You have a good day.
All right, you guys. Again, this is Robert Ferguson. You just heard from Susie Lopez. If you caught us toward the end, I strongly recommend you listen to the whole thing. Other than that, look at the description for other links and to contact us. And until the next one, I'm out of here. All right. Check this out.